All right, well, here we are. You guys ready?
I'm ready. Let's go.
All right, so with me today, as I previously mentioned, we have Dave Conkler and Tony Dayton from the Nine Line Veterans Resource Fair, Nine Line organization, to talk more about the Veterans Resource Fair today.
Yes, ma'am.
Welcome to the show, guys.
Thanks for having us.
All
We're happy to be
right.
here.
So I'm going to start out with you, Tony.
Yes.
Can you give us an overview of what attendees can expect at the upcoming Veterans Resource Fair at the Tacoma Dome?
Yeah, so imagine you get there, right, and there's just a line of veterans first thing in the morning. First thing you do, pass through security, and the first door opens. And we walk through that first door, and you got like 40 veterans enthusiasts in there ready to sit down and take an intake on you, right? So they sit down, they get up, they identify their needs, right? Whatever it is. And a very important piece of that information, we actually use that information to tailor programs for us, for the county, for the year, right? So that information we're grabbing is huge. So they collect all that information there, identify any major needs right at that moment, and then we take them to the next door, right? And the next door is where where the magic happens. So basically they walk in and they see all my friends, right? All the people I can't wait to see every year. And I've got some amazing friends, and they go in there and they get all these resources that they need, whether it's mobile showers, they get VSLs. We'll talk more about that stuff, but yeah, so we just kind of direct them right to the first most, what we'll call it, priority resource. We take them there first, and then we kind of let them go check everything else out, right?
Gotcha.
So
okay, perfect.
yeah, that's
Thank
what
you
to
so
see.
much.
Yeah.
Thank you, appreciate that. So Dave, question for you. How is this year's event different from previous years, especially in terms of resources and support for veterans?
So this year will be, it's not going to be completely different, but there'll be some changes, right, in the way that we handle certain aspects. One of the biggest changes is going to be the way that we handle employment, right, where we're going to have ESD supporting this year, and so we'll have places that are going to be hiring, looking for individuals that are on the job hunt. And one of the cool things that ESD is going to be providing this year is they're going to have the ability to do kind of mock interviews and stuff like that, prep these guys for what it's going to take to go and sit down in front of these employers and make it a real world situation, get them the skills necessary so that they're ready to hit the ground running, meeting with these employers and give them the upper hand to try and find these jobs and stuff like that.
Awesome, very cool. And also for you, Dave, what are some of the key organizations and services that will be present at the fair?
So there's going to be so many. It's awesome how this ends up breaking down. Like Tony said, these are all some great friends and individuals that we have that we get to partner with every year. As you know, this is our 11th annual. And so some of the key partners that we're going to get to have there this year, obviously VA and WDVA services will be there, but we're also going to have great organizations that are some local nonprofits like Reboot Recovery will be there. They're a peer-based support organization. We'll have Who's for Heroes, which is an alternative therapeutic using equine therapy. The options are endless when it comes to like these different resources that will be there for these guys when it comes to that. Legal services, I mean, you name it and it's there for them.
Absolutely. And this question is for both of you. Can you talk about the resources or additional resources being offered and how they're tailored to address the unique needs of veterans?
Yeah, so I mean, I think one of the biggest ones that come in is, and probably biggest question for veteran is, how do I file my disability claim? And we'll have veteran service officers there ready to start these. You can start your disability claim right there at the fair.
Oh, wow.
Right. We can also documents, right? DD-214s, sometimes hard to get. WDVA can print those right there. So one of the WDVA being one of our partners, Washington State Department of Veterans Affairs.
So the other thing that I would state is, like, for our homeless community, right? That's a huge at-risk community. One of the other cool things that's there for these guys is ease of access of medical and dental care, right? So one of the things that we've had every year and will continue to do is we have dental and health providers there that are taking basic information, giving them a quick health check, dental check, seeing what they've got going on, making sure that they're okay, that they have the ability to kind of be up on anything. We help with vaccinations and stuff like that too. They'll get referrals from the dental vans that are there. And so it gets them making sure that their health is priority for them, that they're not out there struggling and not having the ability to go and see those services.
Okay. And then staying with you, Dave, mental health is a critical issue for many veterans. what resources will be available at the fair to support veterans' mental health?
So we'll have VA and WDVA. One of the things that we've got that's this is our second year running it, is the Staff Sergeant Fox program, which WDVA, and it's going to be PTSD Foundation have this grant. And what we do is we focus on suicide prevention and mental health. We'll be able to do intake screenings that day when get our guys connected with case managers. Also, we'll have, like I said, the VA will be there to help them with mental health services, WDVA for mental health services, and then their basic counselors, and then alternative therapeutics as well. So there's different organizations that will help in every step of the position of wherever they're at in these mental health crises that they can continue to get services for.
Yeah, the levels of screening can be done. The screening for levels of mental health can actually be done on site, so we can actually see the severity of the situation as well.
Okay. And then, Dave, how does the fair plan to assist veterans with employment opportunities and career advice? And you did touch on that as well.
So definitely ESD is going to be a big deal with that one. We'll have the job providers there. Some will be doing on-the-spot hiring. Some will sit there and they'll take resumes and information, then they'll get back. Every year there's got people that we do have leave with jobs that day, or within the next couple of weeks they actually get to hear back pretty soon with the positions that they applied for.
Gotcha. Okay. And so, Tony, can you share with our viewers, for veterans struggling with homelessness or housing instability, what kind of assistance can they expect to find at the event?
Well, more of my amazing friends, right?
Okay.
So housing, technically a veteran could walk in there and get housed that day. If they were, hey, I'm ready to be housed because I've been unhoused or whatnot, they could walk in and come get housed that day. Now, what'll be there is, because you've got a couple different aspects. For one, you've got the actual shelter where you're going to live, right? And then you got the funds to pay for where you're going to live, both of which will be available to apply for that day.
Okay.
So we will have resources available for our unhoused veterans.
All right. And Tony, also, are there specific programs or resources at the fair for women veterans or other groups who might have unique needs?
Oh, back to my amazing friends, right? So some of my most favorite friends, I'll say, very fierce women from the Women's Veterans Advisory Board will be there. So, and every one of them that sit on that board are just amazing advocates. I know, like Victoria runs Warrior Unbound for women veterans, so there will be people there for them to connect with and get. When it comes to females in military, right, a lot of times being with the females easier, so there'll be opportunities for them to connect with that female to deal with those kind of situations as well. So, so we'll have that stuff there that day.
Amazing. And so, Dave, how can family members of veterans benefit from attending the fair, and what additional resources might be available to them as well?
So when it comes to family members, friends, everyone can benefit from this event, right? Because we all have a veteran or that kind of that person in our life, and especially in this area where we're at here, right? So we all have this connection with veterans. So even just to go there and see the resources that are available for that, there will be other things directed towards family members where they can get connected with the county, they can get connected with support services and stuff like that. They'll have these connections, and then not only that, it's not just the veterans that need help nowadays with these issues that are going on. The family members are a huge portion of this too, and if the family member isn't receiving the care necessary, then it makes the family life not as easy, right? And so that's actually one of the cool things about with the mental health portion that we've got that we're running. This is one of the only programs that's covered by the VA that actually now covers family members as long as the veterans are enrolled. So we can support family in that aspect too with mental health therapies and stuff like that. So
I think there's one piece to really highlight. As we're entering a massive amount of retirement age people,
Right.
we're seeing a lot uptick of surviving spouses for veterans. So knowing that, hey, it's a veterans resource for surviving spouses, please come.
Right.
We're here for you too. We've got benefits for that. So.
Wonderful. And finally, what do you want veterans and their families to know most about this year's Veterans Resource Fair, and why is it important for them to come to the fair?
So honestly, this is nothing but love. We're here to support, and this will always be something that we're here to do for you guys. And you might not need the resource today, you might not need it tomorrow, but this is the one chance that you're going to have the opportunity that all these resources are going to be under one roof for that day, and you never know when something might be that time that you need to reach out to one of these people. So
Well, and what's the veteran's favorite thing? I'll leave the resources for the other veterans. If they aren't there for us to count them that those resources are being used, those resources won't be there for other veterans. So
Right.
everyone needs to show up and at least do the intake. So that way, hey, these needs are still out there. So that way we can get a great count on all that. So.
Wow. Well, and coming from a veteran, being a family member of veterans, between my bonus dad, my husband, I think this resource fair is absolutely phenomenal with all of the information that's going to be available to our veterans. Kudos to you guys for what you're doing. This is absolutely phenomenal. So we appreciate you for sure. And is there anything else that you'd like to add?
Definitely thank our sponsors. I don't have the flyer up, but I know like Boeing, WDVA, Veterans Affairs,
Red Cross.
CL Seahawks, many of our partners
Wow.
that help sponsor the event. I know there's many more, but I didn't grab a list. So I think last time I actually came in with a list. I forgot it this time.
That's okay. That's all right. Well, we definitely look forward to having both of you back on the show to give us an update on what we know will be a successful resource fair. So thank you both again for being here, and we look forward to seeing you again.
thank you for
All
having us.
right. So coming up next, we'll be speaking with guests from the Tacoma Musical Playhouse. Don't go away.